All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott from Jeff Teaches Programming. In the last video, as you can see up there, video 43, we continued on with creating our C# Payroll GUI, Part B. And right now it looks like this. All right. So we got help working. We can go back and forth between these, but if, for example, we go to hourly and we press calculate, nothing happens. All right, other than it says that's where this is supposed to go. All right, so what I'd like to do, and I don't know how well this is going to work or not work, but I decided to do the salaried one first because it is the easiest one. All right. So I've got here static void salary and then input valid salary because there's only one field there, just the salary. So I'm going to grab both of these. Now remember, we're using this right now, and we are using it in a GUI. So I'm going to come over to my salary that's right here. I'm going to view the code. Now I have come in here and I have added these. Those are the constants that we need. And I've got a show hourly form, which is fine. All right. But what I need is basically to set it up for this calculate gross pay. All right. Now I'm going to make a couple changes here. I'm going to paste this in. Don't worry if I get errors. It's totally fine. All right. So it's called just salary right here. So instead of called calculate gross pay, we're going to change this to calculate salaried gross pay. All right, which gives us an error until we come in here and fix this. There. All right, now right now it has just the message box, but we're going to come in and start making some changes here. All right, so we've got here this input valid salary, which is down here. I'm going to go and grab everything that I have in here, everything that has a right line, or a read line in it. I'm going to comment it out. Oops. Why? Because basically these are going to be replaced, and they're going to be replaced with something other than these. Okay, now it's giving us that error. Again, don't worry about it. Let's take a look at what we have though. All right, so we've got this calculate salary. So let's come in and let's try to see how much of this we can just bring in here like this. So decimal salary equals input valid salary. All right, and that's going to basically keep us stuck in here until we put in a salary that's valid. So we should be able to come down here and say txt gross pay dot text equals salary dot toString. Again, there's no calculation to be done here. So that should work. But let's look at input valid salary. It says function to read in a valid salary. All right. So what we'll do is we'll come in here. It says ask the user to input. Well, we're not doing that anymore. But instead, we're going to come in here and we're going to do this. We're going to say string, salary string, that's fine, equals txt. That's interesting. What did we call that? Oh, I've got the wrong one up. That's why with salary do I have, why is this called pieces made and dummy and gross pay? Because I never changed this. So this is LBL salary. This is just a dummy. I'm not using that. That's LBL gross pay. This should be called TXT salary. So that's my error. We'll fix it right now. All right. So now let's come back into here. And we're going to do exactly what I wanted to do. So string, we'll use pretty much the same type of logic here, equals txt salary dot text. Still doesn't like it. And it's saying, oh, this has just got to be private. Okay, that should fix that error. Okay, all right. So while true, we're going to try to parse this salary string and put it into salary. All right, if we can do it, we'll return it. Otherwise, let's do a message box. All right, and have it say, and we'll have it say, error in salary input. Okay, \n. Do a plus here. I'm going to put in an error that says salary must be numeric and between min salary and max salary. Okay, we'll do our message box buttons, and we'll just have an OK button there. So dot OK, and it is an error, so we'll say, we'll put an icon. Icon dot error. Okay, doesn't like something here, but we'll fix it. Okay, I didn't put the buttons there, so doesn't like something. Let's take a look at one of the ones we did over here. I'll just copy these in for now. Oh, I didn't put in a title. That's what it doesn't like. Salary input error. There. With a comma. There we go. All right, so we're going to show that, but then what do we want to do? Well, basically, we'll want to return. Now, what we're returning here is a decimal. Okay, so if we do return 0, it's going to put 0 down for the salary, which isn't exactly what we want, but I think, let's see if we can call this again. See if we can call input valid salary again. I don't know how this is going to work. Like that. Let's see what this does. So we run the program. Shouldn't give us any errors. We go to Salaried. All right, we come in here, and let's put in nothing. Click Calculate. Error in salary input. Salary must be numeric, and between these two, good. Well, that's the thing I was worried about. It's going to just loop in here. All right. Well, I guess then what we'll do is we'll say txt salary dot text is going to be equal to nothing. Txt gross pay dot text is going to be equal to nothing. And then we should be able to return like 0, and it's not. It shouldn't matter. It's a decimal, so let's return 0m. Now, when we call this, we no longer have to set this. So let's try that again, and we'll go over all of it. Now, one thing we can do, this isn't that big a thing, but I'm starting to tweak this a little bit, and that is we can come in here and we can say txt salary dot select. So that field is highlighted when we first come into there, into that particular form. So let's go to Salaried, and now you should notice that there it is. If we leave it blank, we get salary input error, error in salary input, salary must be between 0 and 100,000. Boom. All right, and probably what I should do is set the focus there too. Let's come in and just try to put in 100,000. Now nothing's happening. Well, that isn't good. All right. So we've got this while true, boom, boom, boom. We want to come in here and also say txt salary dot focus. All right, and we're returning 0m there, but we've already set it equal to nothing. So that's if there is an error. So in this case, we should be returning the salary. So we can come in here now and say txt salary dot text equals salary. Now technically, we don't have to return anything here. All right, so we can make this a void. We're not going to, we can just call it directly. I know I'm changing this around a little bit, but I actually think it'll be a little better this way. All right, so there's nothing to return here. So this is going to be salary dot toString, and we'll make it currency. All right, otherwise, so here we'll just return, and here we'll just return. Now let's look at it, and then hopefully this is okay now, and then we'll go over all of it. So we go over to Salaried. If we put in nothing, and we click calculate, we get our error message. Boom, we're back there. We put in this, it should be the same thing. So that worked. If we put in something out of range, so that works. If we put in something out of range this way, that worked. How about $55,555.55? Well, what we should have said is gross pay there instead of the salary. All right. As soon as we fix that, we should be done. So this should have been gross pay.text. Okay. So stop, file, save all, and let's run this. All right, salaried. So we'll put in again 45678.90, and we'll click calculate. And there's our gross pay. So that one appears to be working. Now, there are a couple things that we can do here. We've mentioned them in other programs, but I don't think I've implemented them here, such as, well, I can come into our salaried here. We probably don't have any kind of accept button set, So we can make that calculate. And a cancel button. Well, if we cancel, how about we just send them back to the startup form? So if they decide they don't want to do it, we'll just send you, there it is, right back to the startup form. All right. Let's try running it again. Then we are going to look at it. So now I can hit enter. There's the salary. And if I do hit escape, I go back to our other form. So that one is now done. And we're at 16 minutes, so we're going to try to do the next one in here. All right. So in other words, the next one would be commission. I'm doing them backwards. So this one's done. So let's close FRM Salaried. Let's save everything first. And let's come in to our did salary. The next one will be commission. All right. Now, did we name these correctly? TXT commission percentage, TXT commission sales. That's good. All right. It's just going to be this one times this one to give us what goes here. All right. So calculate. Again, we've got this thing called calculate gross pay. We're going to change that to calculate commission gross pay, which is going to give me an error because we haven't created it. There it is. All right. So we're going to do the same kind of thing we did before. We're going to come into our program and we're going to find where we did the work with a commission. There's calculate gross pay commission. There's input valid commission. There is input commission percent. So that's everything that's in here. Now, I'm going to copy this in, and once I do, okay, so let me bring this in here. Again, may get errors. We will get rid of them shortly. So don't worry about it. All right, like I said, all those right lines, etc., will be changing in just a moment. So we've got calculate commission gross pay. We'll start by bringing this stuff in. We'll do it like this. So those are going to be the three inputs. All right. Okay. So we're going to first come in here and let's keep these in case we do need them. I don't think we will, but let's just keep these. We will not need these. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to call input valid commission percent. All right. Just like we did before, this com string is now going to be equal to txt, txt commission percentage. Dot text. Now it doesn't like something, so let's see what. It says it does not exist, so I possibly spelled it incorrectly. I said percentage instead of percentage. Okay, that's looking a little better. All right. Well, Still, it must be misspelled, so let's look. TXT, TXT, COMMISSION, CENTAGE. Okay, did that fix it? No. Okay. Oops, it was commission percentage, sorry. But it's still giving us an error here. Oh, again, private, Jeff. There we go. All right, so that's the commission string. We got to verify that it was valid. All right, if it was valid, we'll return it. How about this? If it was valid, yeah, we can return it. Because we're going to keep you stuck in here otherwise. Well, it's not valid. Now, just because, again, I like to try to keep stuff fairly similar to one another. When it was an error here, let's do the same kind of thing that we did before. Okay. All right. So error in commission input. And what was this? This was commission percentage. Input. Commission percentage must be numeric and between min com percent and max com percent. And we'll change that to commission percentage input error. All right, we will clear out the fields. So txt commission percentage.text is equal to nothing. We'll make sure that the gross pay is cleared. And we will set the focus. txt commission percentage.focus. Okay. Now, we only want to return if that's true, but if this isn't true, that should still be false. Let's see what it does right now. It might get stuck in a loop, and if it does, we'll fix it in just a moment. Oops, what do we got here? Oh, we still have those right statements. All right. There, let's try it again. The only thing that hopefully is working now is the percentage. So, commission, if we leave it blank, error in commission input must be between 0 and 0.3. Yeah, now we're stuck in a loop. Okay. And what's happening is it's coming right back in here and it's doing it again. let's see if we can do it the same way we did it before. So let's just see if we can call input valid com percent and have it return nothing. All right. So all we're going to say here is txt com percentage dot text equal PCT dot to string. Okay, otherwise if there's an error, boom, 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 and we'll just automatically return right there anyway. So we can do this and we can return. Let's try that. Okay. Got that one. And I'm commenting stuff in and out while we're doing this, but it's no biggie. Here we go. Again, all we're checking now is the commission percentage. So if it's empty, give our error message, and we're still in a loop. Otherwise, we've got this, all these errors, clearing it out. Now I can use a trick that I've used before, and that is I can come down here calculate commission gross pay. So then we're going to input it here. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say I'm a little stuck right now, so I'm going to stop right here. We're at 30 minutes, and I'm going to pick it up in the next lecture. Thanks.